Greetings, friends and enemies, and welcome back to Art by Flan. Today we're doing something a little different. Today we're coloring some pre-done line art, so it's sort of a semi-collab with my good buddy Adriscribbles. You can find her here on YouTube. I'll have her links in the description and stuff. She's an amazing artist. She definitely deserves your time and attention, so be sure to check her out. I've collabed with her before. She was either the first or one of the first people I ever collabed with here on YouTube, and she's absolutely amazing and a total sweetheart, and I love her and her work to death. I actually own several pieces of her work, stuff she did for my birthday and stuff I just bought from her store, so definitely worth taking a look at. But this was actually, I don't know if it was actually an answer to something I wanted to see drawn, or if she just drew it and I fell in love with it. Either way, this is actually Overwatch fan art of Moisey. That's the ship name. Mercy and Moira from Overwatch, and they are my Overwatch OTP. I love them to death. I love their dynamic. I didn't really have a stable Overwatch ship before Moira was released. I like Far Mercy was pretty good. You know, what do they call it? Jinxie, I think, is the Genji Mercy ship, was okay because there's a lot of really good ship art in Overwatch. But once Moira was released and her relation and her interactions with Mercy, I just fell in love with these two. Especially with how Blizzard did their kind of opposing designs, whereas Mercy's very angelic, very ethereal. You have Moira, who's very dark in contrast. They're both healers, which is my support is my everything. I main support characters. Mercy is my main. At this point, I've almost got 200 hours in her, and then of course, I'm also maining Moira for obvious reasons. 1, she's fun to play. 2, I love her interactions with Mercy, and 3, I just love her in general. But Adri drew this, and I knew I had to color it. I absolutely loved it the moment I saw it. So that's what I'm doing today. You'll have to excuse that. I pulled their colors from their cute sprays, which you can get in game. So if Mercy is not colored how I usually color her, or I've colored her before, that's probably why. I wanted them kind of as close to Blizzard official as I could get, and kind of make sure they're cohesive. I like that Adri added wings to Mercy, and also the kind of horned headband you can see on Moira in some official art back when she was in Blackwatch. Not her official skin, but some of the concept art they had for her had her in the same kind of Valkyrie suit that Mercy wears, only in the darker colors, and sort of instead of a halo, she had kind of this horn helmet, this horn accessory that you can see that Adri drew here. So I really love that she included that. So I went with a sort of opposing sides theme. So since that's already present in the game and in the lore, I thought it would be really great for this image. So as you can see, Moira's dressed in her typical dark purples and blacks, and Mercy's kind of in her whites and golds, to sort of this dance with darkness sort of thing. It sounds kind of cheesy, but it was a really good theme that Adri put in the original line art, and that I was happy to carry over into the colors. I really enjoy coloring other people's line arts because it forces me out of my comfort zone in a way. I mean, shading the contouring on faces other people have drawn and picking up on their cues throughout their line art is really, it's a good time for me. I really enjoy doing it, and I want to do it more often. I knew at some point during the year I wanted to color a line art belonging to somebody else, and then Adri showed me this, and it's like, yes, that hits all my buttons. I'm gonna do it, and now I'm doing it. So there you go. Also, it was I was doing the shading and I didn't know this, but when I started going in and shifting all of the colors around to make the shading more coherent and less blue, I noticed that the line art wasn't actually black. I thought it was black. It was so dark, but it's actually a really dark navy-ish blue. And so I was wondering why the lines kept getting lost in all the black I was using, and that's why. They weren't actually black lines, they were dark blue that she used. So I had to go back and recolor those. So I was like, well, shit. I don't want them to get lost in my hurricane of colors, so I went back and colored them in. And I'm working on final rendering here. I'm also trying to include more of this particular part. Like normally you'll see me add the final rendering shading, but you won't see me color the line art. I'll cut that out. I'm trying to leave that in more often than not now, because it really does bring about a coherent feeling to the piece. So I don't want it to jump from, well, here's this shaded with black lines, and then, oh, here's all this other detail I put in that you guys didn't get to see. So I'm trying to include that more and slow it down a bit more, because by this point I've been running this channel for over 2 years, and so if you've been a follower even for a short amount of time, you've seen me ink and shade plenty of things. So I'm trying to speed that up more. Initially I was going to cut it out, but I decided to instead leave it in, cut it harder, speed it up more, and slow down the parts, or not speed up the parts where I'm doing this final rendering stuff as much, because I feel like it's a little bit more interesting watching me shade for the billionth time. So that's why you're seeing this part now, and I'm really happy with the format currently. I'll probably change it 800 times before then, but you know, it's part of having a YouTube channel. Things change and evolve, and how I edit my videos is going to change, and I'm sure I'll get better in the future. But I also struggled, if you notice the way Adri draws eyes, that she'll do that anime thing where you can still see the eye under the hair, which isn't a bad thing. It's a stylistic choice. Everybody knows you can't see eyeballs through solid hair, but it's a stylistic choice and what I like. But I was kind of debating, well, I initially was going to leave it black like the rest of her eye, then I thought that really stands out. That looks really weird, so I went ahead and just colored that part of her eye, the line art for that part of her eye, the same line art as her hair, so it kind of blends in, but you can still see it. I'm also really happy with the folds on her dress. Like, Adri drew some really amazing, beautiful folds with her line art, and it was just so satisfying to draw those shades. It really, really was. I really, really enjoyed it. And I also love, I personally have a love for complex, irritating outfits with lots and lots of detail. I love how she still put plenty of detail but didn't go overboard in it. Like I said, it was just so much fun to color. It was actually pretty relaxing because I didn't have to worry about drawing or doing the line art. I didn't have to worry about any of that. I could just sit down, take a moment, and just color some pictures, because in the end, that's my favorite part. Like, and for some reason I can't get into coloring books. Like, I can't get into coloring books, but if you give me some line art to color, I'm good to go. Just give me the fun stuff. I want to get there. And I feel like a lot of artists feel that way, that drawing and doing line art, if you do line art, is the work you have to do to get to the fun part, which is coloring. Let me know if you feel that way down in the comments. I know I certainly do. We're putting on the finishing touches here, and we should be shifting on into the final piece here in just a moment. Don't forget to check out Adri's channel. I have all that links in the description below, and if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to both of us, either of us. Just hit that like button at the very least. Special shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. Thank you so much for your continued support. Those two are Adriscribbles herself, of course, and Parzavale. And a special thank you to you guys watching the video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.